What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname back at it again with another Giants update video. This time, of course, we're going to be going over and covering the 3 interviews that the Giants did today with 3 of their players. It seems to be something they've been doing for the past couple of days. Each day is 3 different players. Today, it was Will Hernandez, Evan Ingram, and Marcus Golden. Very excited to get into these, particularly the Marcus Golden one. Now, the thing is, they all had a lot to say, and they all have their own interviews up on the Giants YouTube channel. Of course, each of them are like just below the 10-minute mark. So I'm not sure how long me covering these quotes are going to go. If it ends up being 2 videos, we'll see. If it ends up being even 3 videos, you know, 1 for each guy, we'll see how it goes. But as of right now, even as I'm recording, I have no clue what is the format is going to end up being. I just want to say though, I'm pulling this from both the YouTube interviews that I saw and the Giants website. I just want to say real quick, I did see a couple of you guys in the comment section of the Giants YouTube channel, like Nikki, Jersey Life, a couple other guys out there, you know, commenting on these interviews. That's pretty cool to see you guys out there. But let's get started with Will Hernandez. And like I said, since I'm pulling the quotes from the website, I did see the interview, and I'll link Will Hernandez's interview here somewhere. The first one that they have up wasn't actually his first question. I think his first question was about Nick Gates. But the first thing they talk about in the article is Nate Solder and him opting out of the 2020 season, and how Will Hernandez has basically been with Nate Solder for the entirety of his career so far. Solder has been that mentor for him. He's been the guy that's taught Will Hernandez how to be an offensive lineman in the NFL on and off the field. And this is kind of what Will Hernandez had to say about that. He said, "It really does seem like just yesterday I was a rookie behind Nate," Hernandez said on a Zoom call today. "Now I might have a chance to do the same. All I'm going to say is that I'm not sure who's going to land in that position," talking about the left tackle. "I'll leave that up to the coaches. As far as having that, I've learned from the best. Nate Solder really taught me a lot on and off the field, but he also taught me unconsciously how to treat a rookie. I felt like I got treated by him with the utmost respect, with the utmost attention to detail, wanting to help me get better. It's all those things I picked up from him looking back at it now. It's the same things that I would instill in anybody who was brand new coming in and playing next to me. It would take a lot of the same things he did with me and add my own personality to it, but I've definitely learned a lot of valuable points from Nate." So this is just Hernandez going off and talking about really the mental aspect of the game and the locker room aspect of it that Nate Solder really does take with him as he's opting out of the season. And I mentioned this when Nate Solder did opt out. We might not like him as fans because his performance on the field has been pretty bad. But in the locker room, he was definitely a leader there. Once again, the guy was a team captain. And this is going to be Nate Solder now trying to give back what he learned from Nate Solder, and maybe even give it to Andrew Thomas, who I think we all know might be the guy at left tackle there, talking about being a leader, talking about how to treat a rookie. He used that word rookie specifically, so I think even Will knows that it would be Andrew Thomas at left tackle, and talking about how to teach whoever his student is going to be, whoever he's going to try to be, you know, a mentor to, teach them how to be, you know, just a good football player on and off the field. That's what Solder did for Hernandez. And you know what? You could definitely see that in his interviews and the way Will Hernandez carries himself. Like, Hernandez is a very tough, hard-nosed guy. I feel like if he didn't have a type of mentor-mentee relationship with Nate Solder, that Hernandez might have a very tough relationship with the media as well. And maybe Nate Solder helped temper that a bit, you know, to handle the New York media. It's not like they kill him or anything. Great to see that he's taking all these things in stride, and he's going to try and be a leader on the O-line as young as he is. And then now this is what Hernandez had to say about the big rookie, Andrew Thomas. He said, "First, he's a great guy. He can sing. He can really sing. He has a voice. He's a really smart guy. He gets things right away. Picks up on a lot of stuff coach talks to him about. He's able to absorb it and pick it up right away, which I think is very good. He just has that demeanor. You can see it through his note-taking, through his playing, through his practices, that he wants to get better, he wants to do good. That's just some of the things I've seen from observing him lately. I think he's going to be fine. He's doing great now." And hey man, like I said, he himself said when talking about being a mentor and being sort of a leader and a teacher to whoever's going to win that position, using Hernandez's words here, he used the word rookie. The way he just described Andrew Thomas, of course, you know, with a little joking at the beginning, saying he can sing, you know, and then obviously getting a bit more serious as he shifts, saying that he's a smart guy. I think we fully expect, and that the locker room fully expects, Andrew Thomas to be the starting left tackle going into the season. And of course, Hernandez is trying to kind of placate everybody right here, trying to calm us down, saying that he's good as of right now. He's doing great right now, because the concern we have is that with the limited time, he's going to struggle, and I fully expect him to struggle. But it's nice to see that he has confidence in Andrew Thomas. I'm going to take what he's saying at face value. I have no doubt that he's doing great in camp, but that might not be the same thing as to when the season starts. Obviously, I hope it is, but we'll see what happens when the season actually rolls around here. He then also talked a little bit about Nick Gates, and like I said, this was actually the first question of the interview, because him and Gates, they're from the same area. They're both from Las Vegas, and they both kind of trained together in the offseason. This is what he said. Nick Gates and I spent heavy amount of time training together in the offseason. We're both from Las Vegas, Nevada. We're really good friends. We go after it in the offseason. I've always thought he was a great player. I've always thought that he has what it takes to play. As far as where he goes, whether he lines up next to me or any of the other spots, I honestly think Nick Gates could play any spot on the line. He's good enough to play anywhere on that offensive line. And listen, I might not be the biggest Nick Gates fan, but I 100% love to hear that from Will Hernandez. This is hearing it from somebody that he's practicing with every day, and somebody that's really close to him, that's seen his practice habits, that's seen how he's performing for longer than really probably any other offensive lineman on that line right now. That being said, I think this is something we knew just from recent quotes from guys like Judge and Garrett, and maybe even Mark Colombo to a stretch, just guys in the Giants locker room. We've heard this. We've heard that Nick Gates is a very versatile offensive lineman. The thing is, though, Will, and he says he's good enough to play anywhere on that offensive line, and I think maybe even Will knows it because he didn't use the same phrasing as he did with the rookie that's going to get that job, is that Nick Gates is probably going to be, at his top level, a great depth piece to have. And I think people are underestimating Nick Gates' talent when I refer to him as a great depth piece, as anybody that could fill in the offensive line for a short amount of time. Now, he's going to be the right tackle at some point during the year. I just have a feeling that's going to happen, and it's great to see that he could actually play it, from both the coaches saying and from Will Hernandez saying. I don't know if he could play it at a consistent level for a longer enough level to be considered a starter, though. That's my only concern. That's always been my concern with Nick Gates. But this quote right here, it just gives me more confidence in him. The next couple of quotes is kind of Will talking about his personal motivation, going into this season. Of course, the reporters' questions refer to his sophomore slump in 2019, and it's talking about his personal performance. In addition to that, they then reference a couple things like the Giants as a whole, how they've been struggling for the past couple of years. And this is kind of Will Hernandez on how this is his motivation. He says, as far as last year, what's in the past is in the past. I've learned a lot since then. I've really been focusing on this new offense, new techniques, new kind of attitude for everything. I think that we've gotten a lot better since the offseason, at least me personally. I've been able to look back on a lot of things that I did wrong or I didn't do as best as I could, and I've been able to correct them. Now I'm just focused on the future and what I'm doing now. And we haven't seen them get better. All we've heard is that they had get better. Of course, it's word of mouth. But I gotta believe Hernandez when he said this, man. He said it with such confidence. I'm gonna once again, some point during the video, I might have already linked the actual interview, but he said it with such confidence. And because of the circumstances that I do think it's a better offensive line than it was last year, and because we have a great offensive line coach in Mark Colombo, I do think Hernandez is going to bounce back, man. He even sees it for himself that he can be better than he ever was before. And then there's also kind of the physical aspect. The picture I have up of Hernandez, he looks just like he's built up pure muscle. It doesn't look like there's that much fat on him, man. Like, you talk about offensive linemen. When you think about offensive linemen, you think about big old, they obviously have muscle, but big old guys are really just, they're the big fat guys, right? They're the guys in the line. They're called the hog mollies for a reason. Will Hernandez just looks like he's all muscle, bro. And that kind of goes for the entire Giants locker room. They've been hitting the weights real heavy. And a little bit on the motivation when it comes to the Giants losing seasons. He says, I think a more appropriate word rather than affect me, I think it motivated me. Every single little thing that I do now is geared toward winning, toward how's it going to help me win. Is this going to help me win? Yes or no? No? Okay, I'm not doing it. I just feel like every single thing that I do now, whether it's on the field or off, I either do it with the purpose of winning. It's just a lot of things I realized from experience, from things that I did. I was just learning and learning and learning about the mistakes that we all make and learning from those mistakes. The motive has always been the same, win. But I think more than anything, what I did was learning from my own mistakes. That's the same factor of wanting to win was always there. But now it's like, okay, I can't make those mistakes again because I still want to win. And of course, Leo, take a shot for every time Hernandez said the word mistake. You probably get alcohol poisoning. But that's part of the reason he kind of had a sophomore slump last year. Hernandez had, quite a bit of penalties to his name. He was, like I said, he's always a tough, hard-nosed player. He's going to get in the face of defenders that come after him. But it led to some really just, pig-brain decisions making last year, and obviously not his best performance. And with the mistakes as well, talking about just not doing as good as a job as he should have done. He's obviously been watching tape on himself. And this kind of reminds me of Saquon Barkley, how the biggest Saquon Barkley critic there is Saquon Barkley, because, guys like them, they just criticize themselves heavily. They scrutinize themselves heavily. They look at themselves and pick apart every little thing to try and be the best version of themselves that they can. And that's really, in the sports world, one of the best mindsets you can hope to have out there. Is really just going to drive you so hard to do better. And Hernandez looks like he's been hitting the weight room and the film room just as hard, man. So the final Hernandez quote we're going to go over is about March Colombo. He says, Coach Colombo is great. It's awesome having somebody who's actually been there, done that, 10 plus years playing. He definitely has a lot of inside information as a player himself that he can pass on to us. As far as being there with us, he's one of us. He's one of the guys. Of course, you separate that title. When he's coach, he's coach. You have to respect that line. But it's cool having somebody who's very similar to everybody in that room and kind of gets it. He just gets it, and that's something any offensive lineman appreciates, a guy that understands you. It's a very unique position. You don't have too many offensive linemen. There are not too many offensive linemen. It's a unique position. To have somebody that actually played there, it definitely helps us a lot. We really like having him there. Now, obviously, he didn't talk about the actual coaching aspect of March Colombo being there yet. And like I said, Colombo is known as one of the best offensive lineman coaches out there. But maybe part of the reason he has success and part of the reason he's known as that is because of his likability and his relatability to guys that he's coaching. It's exactly as Hernandez said. There's not many offensive linemen out there, and in terms of their career post-NFL wise, there's not really a lot of offensive linemen that you see in the media, doing like talk shows or doing, shows like on FS1 or even calling football games. There's not even that many in the coaching job. Just like he said, Mark Colombo is one of the very few offensive linemen that are actually a coach. So that for sure, you could tell the dude for sure is taking a liking to him. That's going to go a long way in terms of relatability and having the people in there listen to you. I'm very interested to see what Hernandez, or any offensive lineman for that matter, has to say about his actual coaching ability and how he's training them and how he's getting on their cases, because that's what I'm interested in. But I got nothing but respect for Mark Colombo, and I'm sure he's doing his thing. So that's it for Will Hernandez. I'm literally just going to continue recording and get into the next players, and I'm just going to chop it up and put it in separate vids. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.